a little bit of tune up before going into the new year. So get ready to get yourself started, get yourself rolling, and get ready. Some of you, for those of you who are live on Zoom, get ready to come on in and make your contributions. What's going on, Doc? Good morning. Let's see here.
I'll just have you know, sir, that my sister decided 5 something this morning was a good time to wake her mother up and take her to the gym.
Wow. Wow. Oh, the nerve. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, I had a little episode like that about the other night. I fell asleep on the couch and my son decided to wake me up, about 2:30 in the morning. So yeah. You went to the gym, I went to bed. No, this is a little different. Mm. How was holidays?
It was good. It was really good. It's the first time in 6 years I had all 3 young adults home at the same time.
Oh, that's gotta be special.
Yes, yes.
That's special. Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did nothing for Christmas except for relax. I obviously play Santa Claus, but I did nothing. Didn't go anywhere. We went to Beaumont, but I relaxed the whole entire time.
Mhm. I'm sure the missus was happy about that one.
Yeah,
He said it's about time.
she was very excited about that part. Let's see here. What's going on, Miss Wynn? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see here. All right. On the dot, on the dot, on the dot. Okay. So, guys, at the top of the hour, it is 8 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning, Central Standard Time. And let's see here. This is Samuel Bean out of Houston, Texas. And we're going to do our crash camp as usual. Saturday mornings is what we do. That's when we get together and get our skill sets to the next level. So definitely want to say hello to our usual suspects. Again, Dr. Arlene George, Carla Wynn, Celeste Johnson is on here as well. And I know we are, I think, streaming on YouTube right now at the moment. So we'll go ahead and get this show started. But going into the new year, guys, it's very, very important, again, that we go ahead and always go back to our reflections. Those of us who've been reflecting all year, again, you got a head start on it. You get a chance to go back and see what you're working on last quarter, what first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. Pay attention to how you evolved out of those reflections, or if you evolved at all. You also want to make sure you have your goals and everything set for 2024 and who you're going to be, not just what you're going to earn, but who you're going to be going to 2024 as well. I know we did do the Millionaire Mindset call on Christmas. It just happened to fall on a Monday, this year. So everybody got a week off, but that's normally something I like to talk about. Obviously, going into the new year. Now we have. Let me see here. Yeah, we've done our trainings when it comes to goal setting. We've done our training when it comes to um, how to project and how to reflect and everything else. And going into the new year, we will be doing our micro habits and other trainings that help people to get the year start off right, as well as get their heart right, their numbers right, their get their you know get their head space right in a position where they can be ready to go out there and do business. And so I just want to make sure we're, you know, on board with our rescue, as you said. So with that being said, what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start off the way we always start off. And I want to get everybody on, make sure everybody's got their takes for the week. and what they got back from, the rally calls, what they use, or what they learned about themselves using any, the system, for the last past week or so. So I see Carla has her hands up as always. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and get it kicked off, Ms. Wynn. What you got for us this morning?
Great morning, Mr. 𝐍𝐎𝐓 𝐅𝐎𝐑𝐪. Today's principle is Nia, which is purpose on the 𝐍𝐎𝐓 scale this week. And so what I got is over from the rally calls, actually several days. First on Tuesday, Seth talked about listening and not buying what other people are selling. And this is from Seller Be Sold, which I've been listening to on audio. Where he talks about, when Mr. Cardone talks about either we're being sold or we're selling ourselves. So we can listen to what people are saying, but we don't have to buy what it is that they're selling to us in terms of why they can't, why things are not working, why this is a bad time. And then also Eddie on Friday talked about intention being greater than methodology of achieving, or of being intentional about, getting whatever task it is that we need to get done. So I want to thank you very much for this platform. Thank you for me being here. Oh, I think consistently since about April. Yeah, I'm growing, and your tortoise is growing. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
That's all right. That's all right. Hey, remember, it's not the person who learns it first. 9 out of 10, the person who learns it first, they learn at the speed, they learn it for the wrong reason. So, and then as fast as they learn it, they don't apply it, and so it goes right away. So, me personally, it's just why the overtime method, over the years, however long it takes for me to evolve, I'll take it. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because that's the one that has the ability to be permanent, and it'll always stay with you. So congratulations on being in here, standing in the gap. But someone is always buying and somebody's always selling 100% of the time. It don't matter, whether it's your kids, selling you on why they shouldn't be in trouble, or why they should have a new iPhone, or why they should, why they should go on this trip with no parents, with no parents going on the trip. They're always selling you on something. Your husband's always selling you on something, or your wife's always selling you on something, And so at the end of the day, somebody's always buying, somebody's always selling. So just make sure you know where you're supposed to be, on the side of every one of those transactions. Yeah, and so, and understand when people are talking, they're selling. And when my sister comes to me and she goes, brother, she wants something. I already know. So that's her trick. That's my trigger word. She don't know I know, but every time she says brother, it's like back in the day before I learned how to say no, it was gonna cost me some money. I already know. So now I know how to say no. I'm just ready for it, right? And so my wife, she has her triggers. My sons have their triggers, and then at the same time, when you look at business, all of our prospects, they have their triggers as well. So when they start saying stuff like, I need to think about it, or I need to, run this by this person, or I need to, and whatever it is, that should let you know they're trying to sell you, on you going away. They want you to buy, their reason on why they're not able to do business with you, or don't want to do business with you right now, whatever it is. They've been sold into being fearful, right? By the subconscious. And now they're trying to close a deal with you to get you out of the way. Right. So just understand that's what's going on 100% of the time, right? And so, but no, that's again just this year, going into this year, sell yourself on being better, sell yourself on being a present, sell yourself on evolving, right? Sell yourself on promoting, and then make sure you know what your triggers are when you start to talk to yourself, because what happens is you'll have people who, give me an example. So, I want to go lose some weight. And then you tell yourself, well, you never finish, or you're not going to get up that early, or you're not going, and you start telling yourself all the things, negative that you've experienced in the past. So you start basically selling yourself on why you should not work out, why you shouldn't go get that membership, why you shouldn't do this, that, and other, right? And so again, even within yourself internally, somebody's always buying, somebody's always selling. And so make sure that you get a wrap on it, make sure you get understanding. So we're going to start us off with Ms. Carla. All right, Dr. Arlene George.
Good morning again, sir. And thank you again for this platform. I came today to get my injection of the Book of 𝐍𝐎, and I'm excited because Sarah woke me up at 5:30 this morning. So with that being said, I'm the money's in the modules. So I have been in the modules consistently. When I started my workout, that gave me a consistency in one area. So the next thing I added was getting up every morning, and before I actually go out and work out, I do my Bible study and I do my Grant Cardone, at least 15 to 30 minutes of Grant Cardone in the modules. So right now I was in the money and finance modules, finished that, and now I am in the secret successful traits of successful business people. Out of the money module, I took get out of the middle class. Get out of the middle class, and 95% of my time should be spent on offense, which means it should be activities that are increasing my income. Amen, amen. Then I took out of the module this week, commitment. What am I committed to? And like you said just now, sell or be sold. Am I committed and sold out to the things that are going to move me closer in my faith, in my family, in my friendships, in my finances, in my fitness? And I added one more, in my future self. Right? So am I committed to that? And then behind commitment comes being an amateur or being a professional or being a master. All right? You have to be an amateur before you become a professional. And once you become a professional, it's time to master. And if you're not growing, you're not learning and you're not growing, then you're moving backwards. And as soon as you stop learning and growing, you are no longer the master. That's what I took out this week.
Yeah, that's some good stuff. You are on point, on point, on point. The money is in the modules, as always. And for those of you who are on Facebook, again, you have to be in the actual program to be in the modules. And so make sure you get your membership, make sure you jump on and be a part of this experience. But, you know, when you talk about getting out of the middle class, I haven't heard that one. That one I got to go into the modules and check out, because just the title alone, you know, says a whole lot. That's a whole entire training on its own, I can almost imagine, you know. But when you think about it, when you have people who talk about getting rich, you know, and they have goals of getting rich, but they don't have a skill of becoming profitable, right? And so they don't have a skill with that becoming efficient and effective, you know, when it comes to managing their money, right? And so we talk about it all the time, and we actually have our trainings on what to do with a dollar. And when it comes to money, if you don't know what to do with a dollar, you don't know what to do with 10. If you don't know how to manage $10, you won't know how to manage 100,000, a million, anything like that. So it'll just pass through your hands, you know, and you know, it's not going to be a good thing for you. But getting out of the middle class, just the title alone, even for somebody like me, you know, I like to go back and listen to stuff like that, because again, it intrigues me, and it may be something that he said that I can add to my own training, so I can add to my own systems and stuff like that. And so that's kind of how, you know, I evolved my system over the years, by continual education, you know, finding things like that. I found a person who, matter of fact, yesterday I sat down with me and one of my buddies, and he had his friend who just came into some money come by on, and I told him, I said, look, I have a conversation with him, no problem. But it was about what to do with the money he just got, right? And you know, how not to blow it, what to do to pay off the house or whatever it was. And we sat down and went over a lot of different things on what he can do, you know, with his money, you know, how to pay the house off, how to use IULs and insurance, you know, how to use, you know, CDs, how to use, how to build up his credit and everything else. And, you know, a lot of these things he had never heard of, you know, it wasn't taught to him as a kid, for most of us, a lot of stuff wasn't taught to us as kids either, you know, because most of us wasn't, you know, raised by millionaires or people who created millionaires. So For him, you can see his eyes pop wide open. We even sat at the table and talked about, and he applied for some different lines of credits and stuff like that while we were actually at the table, which is pretty cool. And so it was different things that he can do, but it was cool that I had some, knowledge, some information to pass on to him to help him with that money, because so many times people who come into multiple six figures a year who have never had six figures at one time in their bank, you'd be amazed at how fast they blow it. And even when I asked questions before I started training them, so before I started conversing with him about what to do with it, I had to kind of let him know where he was in his mental space, when it comes to, economics and finance. And so I started asking him certain questions. I said, I actually went back to one of my age-old questions. When you actually got your tax returns, I said, we're coming into rapid refund, a season, and so this is where broke people get in there, get their rapid refund check, and by the time the check get here, it's already spent because they know what they're gonna spend on it. I said, so when you actually look at the money you just came into, remember, you didn't work for that money. You deserved it based on the circumstances, but you didn't work for it. So I can guarantee you already have at least half of that money spent already, right or right? He said, yes, sir. I said, I said, so you was planning on paying off the house, you was planning on buying a car, what else? You was planning on doing something for mom, you was planning on, and I said, yeah. He said, yeah, I plan on doing a lot of that stuff. Yeah, a lot of that stuff and some. So he had already mentally spent half of the money, but he didn't do anything because his friend asked him not to until he spoke to me. And so again, it's just a blessing to be a blessing. And so sometimes it's not always about your money. Sometimes it's about what you get a chance to teach, other people that you learn about money. And so at some point in time this year, my goal is to now start to have real conversations with families, real get together with families about money, and having, like some type of monthly, get together, talk about people and their credit, talk about people and what their abilities are and what their desires are and what their plans with retirement are and those type of things. And so, because at that time it'd be for me, as a family member that has information, it would be selfish for me not to now lend this information to my family but put them in a position where it's constructive, the environment is constructive, they see everybody participating in. Now it's just not me, giving them advice. It's me really launching something, of substance. So, but no, that's good stuff. And then being an amateur, before you become a professional, it's about your process. You have to crawl before you walk. You have to be a thousandaire before you become a millionaire. And that's fine. Just know that one day it will happen if you're on purpose. That's the thing, being on purpose, making the proper sacrifices and making your sacrifices count for something. Being in the right place at the right time is one thing, but being the right person is the whole other. Again, just being a part, like right now, being on this call, is again a part of your process. At some point in time, I can guarantee you will be using this information, intentionally or unintentionally, to close a deal, whether it be economic or whether it be just in your life, having a conversation with somebody you love. You're going to use this information at some point in time. So just know it's always a process. So thank you for your contribution this morning, Doc. And just like Laura last week, you gave me a whole lot to work with to pick and choose my spots. So Kendrick, what you got this morning? Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bean. Good morning. Good morning, fellow crash campers. Happy to see everybody. For me, I've just been focusing on really finishing what I started. So I've been in the modules and I've been on the rally calls. And what stood out this week for me in the rally calls was Friday's rally call, and it was talking about just using the greeting to keep the customer at ease. I know a lot of times we try to speed through our greeting, trying to hit our points and different things and let them know what we have to offer and everything. But a lot of times it's just connecting, using that time to really connect with the person we're talking to, and then keeping them at at ease. And then said also just about with selling, says, a lot of times we're in a rush and different things, and people would have us in a rush because they're in a rush. It talks about selling on your feet versus selling in your seat. It's like the phrase that he used. And he said it was a lot easier to, get a person to just sit down, because that way you get their full attention, and that way they're tuned in to what you have to say, So that's what I got this week from the rally calls. And that really helped me, because a lot of times people be in a rush, and they just try to keep you in a rush. So selling on your feet versus your seat. And then just with me, I've been just focusing on just being consistent and everything. And then it says everything that I hear in my head says, how you do anything is how you do everything. So just being on the calls and just being able to use the information, and like you said, not just these things, but everyday life is just beneficial. So I'm just thankful for being here today, and just thankful for everybody else. So that's what I got.
Well, I appreciate that. And so when you look at finish what you started, like I said, using the greeting to keep the customer at ease, connecting, and then saying basically, the one that you lit it up with the quote, and it says selling from your seat instead of selling from your feet, or selling from your feet instead of selling from your seat. That again, that brings it all full circle. Sometimes you have to, really get a person to calm down, relax, and take a load off. Something that's why you have to really get good at, those conversations and how to find that sweet spot, but then also knowing that you have something for value. When you have something valuable to offer somebody, it's one of those things where you say, hey, just right now, I don't want to blow through this conversation. This is important to you, and so it's important to me, and I need to make sure you get it. These are the type of words you have to say without even having to say it. Letting the person know the value, the impact, and then, because I tell a person like, so if me and Laura's talking, having a conversation, and Laura's got 100 things going on, I'm like, Laura, breathe, breathe. Or if I'm speaking to somebody who knows a little Spanish, I say, hey, tranquilo, papi, tranquilo, hey, tranquilo, papi. Just something, just have them relax a little bit, right? And so now when you get a person to relax, you get a person to breathe, you can actually have a conversation, because otherwise it's a race to get you off the phone. Okay. And so when you can get a person to relax, when you get a person to sit down and actually process the information that you're giving them, that's when the information can now take effect. That's when the information can now work. But otherwise, that person, they're hearing you, but they're not listening. You don't have their full attention. So it's going in one ear, not the other. And so their intention is not to get the information. Their intention is to get you off the phone, right? And so that's why you gotta, when you are aware of that, and you talk about this specific chapter, this specific part of the module that you was listening to, this is one of those modules you want to go back and listen to over and over again. Like these, it's like these are the ones that help you connect. Like this module is one that help when you look at John C. Maxwell, everyone communicates but few connects. So that's what this book is about, right? That's what this module is about. And so when you have modules like that, this is your money module right here. This is one of the ones where, again, you want a long-lasting relationship. You want to let a person know that you care. You want to let a person know that you're there, that you're educated, that you understand what's going on. You got control of what's going on. You're leading the situation. Because again, you get a person to calm down, relax, listen to you, you're leading. They're following, okay? And people need to be led. Remember, we always go back to the point that people need to be led. Remember, you have to impose your will on people. And imposing your will on people is not a negative thing. It just means that you're taking control. Okay? It just means that you're leading. Okay? You have two people who's trying to lead while you're dancing. You have a problem. You don't have harmony, right? That's everybody's trying to be the boss. No, just, again, if you take control, they'll give way. So if you don't know anything, if you don't get anything else out of that part, get a person to relax, get a person to calm down, get a person to, if they cannot do it at that moment based on something legit, a legit reason, make sure you have enough of their attention to make sure you set that appointment to where when they get back on the phone with you, they know that their full attention is going to be required. Okay, so you want to make sure that you at least, set the tone for how the next call is going to go, or how the next Zoom is going to go, or whatever. You set the standard, you set the bar, and you say, "Now I don't have a problem, Laura," and I get it. You know what I'm saying? You Laura from the block, you Laura on the block. I get it. You've been successful your whole entire life because you've been ripping and running. And right now, I see right now you're ripping and running. I know you got some legit to do, but this is what I need. I need a moment, okay, where I have your time, your energy, and your focus. And I need that moment within the next, 12 to 24 hours. When can you give me 10, uninterrupted moments of your life? When can you give me 15 minutes of uninterrupted time where I can actually have a conversation with you after you clock out mentally and emotionally? I need you to communicate with me. So that's an adult conversation, right? That's a business conversation. That's one of those conversations from someone who is emotionally sophisticated, somebody who knows what's going on, and she can appreciate the fact that I know her life is when it comes to business is crazy. And so again, that's how you make those connections. That's how you have those conversations. And that's how you get people to now, have a conversation from their seat instead of from their feet. But go back, Kenji, that's good stuff, man. I'm telling you, that's good stuff. Those are the type of modules you want to master. And anything that's similar to it, that has anything to do with connecting, sit there for a while and master that for a while, because that's a skill set that's overlooked. A lot of people want to close, but you can't close if you don't have a connection. You can, but your closing ratio going to be horrible. All right, so good stuff. They got good stuff. All right, let's see. Johnson, Jacksonville, Florida, in the house. What you got for us this morning, Leslie? With the Christmas hat.
Good morning, Mr. Bean and all crash campers. I'm just happy to be here on the last day of the last Saturday, last crash camp in 2023. I'm just happy to be able to participate and be a part of this exciting moment. I thank you for all the wisdom and knowledge and nuggets that you just continue to pour into us. Thank you for also Mrs. Bean. I know she is your everything. So I'm just grateful to have you all in my life. Also, I say it's good to be first. That's my attention. You need to be called this morning, but I didn't do it. But anyway, also my reflection was from yesterday on Eddie. Some of the things that Carl said and Kendra said, I want to say too, but I'm going to bring something different. As Eddie continue to speak, you be the force. You be the one like you just really just explain it. We have to be the one to lead. So he said, over deliver value at. What value can I give? What extra level of service can I give to my prospects? So that was very powerful. It's not about me. It's all about the prospect and being able to, like I say, to connect and to see what their needs are and then add value to it. Whereas my intention now is to close them, with their goals and their plans. So anyway, just I want to be that force. So thanks for allowing me to share.
No problem at all. Be the force, over deliver value. That one again it's always about the customer, guys. I mean, even if you over delivering value and sometimes you end up slightly in a negative, or you barely make a profit, because you over invested on a person, you poured into a person or something like that. Guys, it puts you in a position where they still remember you. They put you in a position where they still appreciate you. They still are grateful for you, and they'll continue to do business with you. When it comes time to do business with somebody, they're going to remember who put them first instead of putting the money before them, right? And people know that you really do care about them doing business with you, and that you're willing to go over and beyond the call of duty. That's the type of stuff that they remember. Remember, this is the thing. Like Carly says it a lot when she does the introductions on the Millionaire Mindset call for me. This is not something that we have to do. This is not something that we do because it's mandatory. Again, the Millionaire Mindset Call is not mandatory. The Crash Camp is not mandatory. This is all extra value. Okay, this is all sacrifice. This is all like like you said. Thanks, Mr. Bean. Mrs. Bean. Mrs. Bean, sleep. I'm up. This ain't time to thank her right now. I'm being selfish right now. I'm up. I got up. My alarm clock went off. She stayed asleep. This is my sacrifice this morning. No, I'm just kidding. But it's still, again, you know what it is. You've been around the industry long enough to know, okay, what's the difference? What's the difference here? What's the difference here? Y'all have seen trophies. Yeah, I've seen how we give away crystals and stuff like that at big events and just our own private personal events, and it'd be crystals that are the same size or bigger than the ones that the companies are giving. And so again, extra. You got people who, again, there's nothing against recognizing a person with a lanyard and a medal. You know what I'm saying? Because recognition is recognition. But again, it's just when people see, your investment in them, then they'll turn around and invest in themselves as well. Yeah. And so that's the thing. If I feel like you're worthy enough for me to invest in, then you should feel like you're worthy enough for you to invest in. Yeah. And so that's good stuff, Leslie. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
But yeah, always live over value that extra surface. It's all about the process and it's all about the people. So, all right, now we have, let's see here, Miss Guava. What's going on? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Bean. Good morning. Good morning, Crash Camp. My reflection came from yesterday with Eddie. He said the way you end the year is the way you will begin your new year. And he also talked about the intention is greater than the method. So this morning, my intention was to end my year. I'm grateful for being in Crash Camp. I'm grateful for the opportunity. So I'm ending my year in the right place and position myself in the right place this morning. And to just also tell you, Mrs. Bean, Miss Shirley, Miss Laura, thank you for this entire year. Thank you. And I appreciate all that I've gotten. Just forgive me for this part, but I just appreciate my growth being in this platform, being in this arena, being around a positive family. I want you to know, all of you to know that I'm grateful. And because of this family, I'm better than I have ever been in my life. And I thank you. And I want to end the year with telling you, thank you. I appreciate you. I love all of you. Just thank you for being my family.
Okay. So
Thank you. Share.
Okay, let me breathe for a second. Because boy, yeah, you almost got me for a minute. My wife was if she was on here, you got her. She would have been crying 5 minutes ago, boy, I tell you. But no, that's man, I appreciate you. Again, y'all, you have no idea. We do stuff for thousands of people, but it's not the thousands of people that keep us doing stuff. It's the few, right? It's the yous, people who are really grateful. And the people who, because remember, being a leader is a thankless job. People don't really, like I said, people are, selfish at nature. You're born selfish. And so you have to grow out of it. And so most people don't, though. And most people live their life, in a selfish headspace and mind space and emotions. And so for you to be able to, you'll come out and say thank you, publicly like that with such emotion. We appreciate it, but it also shows that you're the type of person that we do this for. Again, when you have leaders who come out here and and they see you grow, we talk about how you say thankful, how you say thank you. It's one thing to to say thank you, and it's a whole entirely different thing to go out here and apply yourself and be on these calls and to go and apply the information that you're learning, which is a whole entirely different thank you. That's how you add value to your thank you, when it comes to leading. So when you do that, it just makes us want to do more, because there's a lot of people who go the leadership route and then next thing you know, they quit because they feel like they're underappreciated. They feel like people don't get it. And they understand that people, are there for their own personal financial agenda, but they don't understand why people can't, emote, why people can't show their appreciation and show their gratitude when, they really can. But it's just not a priority for them, or it's not the most important thing to them, And so for me, anytime we have, people who really show and say thank you, we appreciate it, because again, um, it's one of those things, like you, just like me. I tell my wife I love her all the time, not because I'm trying to convince her, but because she needs to hear it. I tell her she's beautiful all the time because again, she's beautiful. And it's not because I'm trying to impress her because I want some out of her, but because she needs to hear it. It's one thing, for people to know, but it's a whole entirely different thing to hear. Everybody's human. So when you're talking to, even when you're talking to your prospects, just any type of words of encouragement, any type of value you can add, any type of, just listening that you can do, to them, just giving them time, is, to listen to them sometime, is important, because a lot of times you'd be amazed at how many people don't have anybody just to listen to them. So it's important. So ending the year in gratitude, and opening up the year in gratitude is huge. And like I said, you're in the right place. Like Lester says, the last one for the year, going into 2024. And I'm sure you'll be on the first one, 2024. So glad to have you on. And again, you're welcome. Right. And so we have Dr. Arlene, Angel, let me Angel real quick here.
Great morning, Mr. Bean and Foresight fam. I just want to say, well, having to go after that. Well, I'm still teary-eyed. But I am grateful for, for my Foresight family. Just like Ms. Gwendolyn said, thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Bean, for all you do, because growing up, right? Growing up and growing into leadership has really opened my eyes exactly to what you said, Mr. Bean, about, the challenges that I can only see a tiny fraction of what you and Mrs. Bean have to do every day. um, you know, it's made me enough to sometimes even wonder if I could be be that great leader as you and Mrs. Bean are, and question that because of the what it takes to overcome some of those obstacles that you and Mrs. Bean seem to just fly through right in our eyes. But and so that's why this year I'm so glad to be able to share the last day of last Saturday of the year with you all, and this is a great beginning to 2024 as well, to take that time out and be able to spend it with the people that are the most positive, and we're all striving for the same thing. And that's why we're here, because and that's what I've for the last couple of weeks I've been really concentrating on being that leader. So not only am I working on my strengths, with the Grant Cardone, I'm working with my my strengths, my weaknesses, but then I'm also looking at what my team needs too on top of that. So, when we're having, like you said, that conversations, connecting, things like that, which I want to do more of. I want to call up, my team just one-on-one and say, hey, what's going on? How do you feel your business is? And that's what I need, like a checkup for my team. And I feel like I need to step up and do more checkups to see, how they are. And not only that, but see what I can grab from Grant Cardone or anything that I can grab to help my team. And so this week, what I grabbed from Kelvin was how to build the confidence up, right? Because a lot of times when people are new or when people have been there and they've been, how do you get that confidence up? And he says you need to list the benefits, basically FAB. I changed what he said to FAB. Basically, that you have to write down not just think about, but write down the list of fabs for each and everything that you do. And so that's going to build the confidence. And he's absolutely right, because every single time that we do have a new thing, I'm always like, okay, let me go ahead and write down what's the fab of this investment. And I wasn't really translating that to my team. I was doing it for myself, but I wasn't really transferring it to my team because I didn't realize that that's what was building my confidence up. So that's what should be building, that's the thing that I can do to help them build their confidence up too, right? And then not only that, but he has a lot of scripts, and he was talking about scripts, and a lot of times it's true, right? We'll get a script and then we'll try to make it our own already, right? I don't like the way it sounds. I'm going to go ahead and just rewrite the whole thing. And then we bomb it, right? And so and that's what I noticed a lot on role playing, that people would just do their own thing, but they haven't gotten the script down, but they would do their own thing. And now I would be better at saying, no, let's go ahead and just read it. Read it. I want you to read it. I had one team member says, yeah, but I don't sound like that. So it's not going to work for me. And I asked her, like, hey, just read it for it. I understand that doesn't sound normal. Of course it doesn't sound normal to you, but I want you to make sure, just read it a couple of times. Do me a favor, read it, work with me on that, read it, and then we're going to go ahead and test it on one of the people that you have. And so she's like, okay, fine. So we were role playing, she got it down. And then I said, okay, now reach out to 5 people and do that. And she said, and when she did that, 3 of them responded exactly how it was supposed to go. And she was like, oh, and that really opened her eyes. And I love that we're able to correlate, not just for ourselves, but to take the GCU program and then help our team members as well.
Yeah. Well, good thing. First of all, thanks for always standing in the gap. And again, training, here on Saturday mornings. Again, it's just, you've been there from day one. And so we always appreciate, anybody who serves on the platform. That's first and foremost. And then, like I said, getting out of your comfort zone. When it comes to the scripts, and I'll go backwards, this is the thing, when you look at the scripts, normally the scripts are created by people who have the results that you desire. Okay. And so remember, your internal dialogue is a script, and your internal dialogue may not be a dialogue. Your internal dialogue may have been a script that you've used for years to make you $250,000 a year on your job, or $100,000 a year on your job, but it's never made you $1 million, in investing or a business. It's never made you $500,000 in investing or business. Never made you $250,000 in investing in business. And so when you say don't sound like me, I get it. It's not supposed to sound like you. It's not supposed to be comfortable as a script. Because if it was comfortable as a script, you'd already be making the money, the type of money the person who created the script is making. Remember, when you look at philosophies, guys, millionaires, billionaires, and thousandaires, they all have different philosophies. Okay? Anytime you have a billionaire or a millionaire, and then you have an average person who's a thousandaire who they're thinking 100% alike, somebody's lying. The millionaire is probably lying to help protect the feelings of the person who's an average individual or a thousandaire, or the thousandaire is lying so they can try to impress the billionaire. But if they had the same philosophies and principles, the same set of beliefs, they'd be making the same amount of money. So again, it's not supposed to be comfortable. Remember, your comfort zone is your broke zone. That's like some people won't get on here because waking up at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock is uncomfortable for them. And that's fine. And that's why, for me, I don't get, up in arms of people telling them, you need to be on here. I promote, I campaign, I give them all the benefits of why they should be here, or why they should be on Millionaire Mindset Call or at an event or something like that. But I never, ever tell a person where they should be based on what I need, what I personally need. Okay. I care, that they're not here, because I know how it affects them negatively, how they don't get a chance to grow with everybody else. But I don't care because of my money. I care based on my love for them. So when I don't see somebody that I love on calls, I pray for them. I literally pray for them and just hope that they get whatever they need to get somewhere from wherever they're at. But as far as, you know, these scripts, the things that you learn on the Millionaire Mindset calls, those things, those trainings, those are outlines of things that you're just not living and doing, but those are things that you'll ultimately end up training and teaching one day yourselves as well. Those were scripts, next level scripts, seven-figure scripts that I learned over the years on millionaire mentorship calls over through the years. And I turned on and got my own millionaire mindset call. Okay. And so, somebody's script works. And when you look at your script and the fact that you haven't recruited anybody versus somebody else's script, and they've actually built a internationally large company or internationally large network of people who have come on board and have duplicated the process and they're making a fortune, somebody's script is right, somebody's script is wrong. Okay? And so lean out on your own thinking when it comes to you trying to get new results. You got to go and lean on the thinking and the philosophies of the person who has the results that you desire in that platform. Okay. And so that's important. And then just going up, like I said, going back up to, the building the confidence, when it comes to the fab, that's the first thing I do with everything I do. Because that's the first of all, I have to be sold on it. And so I need to look at all of the fab. I need to look at all the benefits. I need to look at all of the, everything. For me, the advantages, the benefits. I just okay. So what is it about this thing that makes me want to get started? What is it about this thing gives me a warm and fuzzy? What is it about this thing that showed me that I can get some goals accomplished? What is it about then and so on? And so for me, I'm looking at everything. Who's in charge of this thing? Do I like the person who's in charge of this thing? I mean, whatever it is, what can I sell to myself? Because if I'm not sold, if I can't recruit myself with this information, then I can't recruit anybody else. I can't enroll anybody else. So I am the most important person that I have to recruit. Okay. And then I have to re-recruit myself daily. But the first time, there's me. I will never have a team if I don't recruit myself the first time. If I don't know the fab, and all the features, advantages, and benefits myself, I have nothing to pitch anybody else. So, again, wrap your mind around what you have to offer, and then wrap your spirit around it. Okay, because when you know what you had to offer, you feel good about it. You take pride in it. You speak about it differently. You speak about it more confidently. Your chest is out, and then your screenshots actually mean something. Like people can see the benefit and like, wow, you did that. But man, when they hear your confidence and how you speak about it, that just again, that's more of an extra value add on, if you ask me. That confidence, that swagger. I mean, y'all, it's just women, y'all know, y'all see it all the time. Okay. Well, you can see a man he might be attractive, he might be handsome, good looking, but his game is weak. Like he timid, he unsure about himself. But then you got he's cute, not as gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? He walks up to you and he speaks to you like y'all been knowing you, like you've been knowing him your whole entire life. He's saying all the right things, and all of a sudden you go home and like, man, like you've known this guy your whole entire life, and like, man, you can't stop thinking about him because he made an impression on you. And it was more of his confidence and his swagger than it was the words that he used or his presentation of himself physically. You know, his presentation, the smile, and the nice cut of the suit, whatever. That's the screenshot, right? But his music, his confidence, right, and his belief, that was the presentation. That's what sealed the deal. That's what got him the second date, right? And so, because I know a lot. If you married on here, raise your hand. Let me see if if you married, been married, have been married, or if you're still married, raise your hand. Now keep your hand up if you thought the person you married would be better looking. See, look. I'm just saying, you married who you needed to marry, not who you thought you was a marry when you was a kid, when you was a little girl, little boy. You know what I'm saying? You whatever picture you saw in the magazine, you thought that's who you was gonna marry. That's not it. So that's not it. It was the person who came to you singing that song, singing that music, that person sold you. We talked about earlier. That person was the one who had their sales presentation together. And don't matter whether the marriage even lasted, because all business relationships don't last. The fact of the matter is they closed the deal the first time. I always tell my wife, I don't care what you say. You can never go to public and tell people that you're smarter than me because I got you to marry me. You didn't get me to marry you. You know what I'm saying? I married up. I don't know about you. I can't really speak about you. So you can never tell people you're smarter than me. So my presentation was cold-blooded. You got sold, right? And so you bought, you got sold. I did the sold, I did the selling. You know, so it is, again, it's just one of those things. So but that's good. And so let's see here. But yeah, that's good stuff there, Angel. That really is. So again, the FABs, the benefits, okay, and make sure you guys are working on those scripts with your people. Calling parties, that's why we talk about calling parties also. Invest some time in your people, guys. Don't leave a person to, automatically do scripts on their own. Don't, without breaking down the script and explaining the script and explaining the PS5, really walk a person through it. Take them through it, let them understand the dynamics of each part of it and how to get in and get out of it. Help them understand the trial closes and everything that's in between and why you do it. And when you put a person in that position and you walk them through and you teach them about what they're doing step by step, and then you have them do one or two in front of you like angels here, and then you send them away and have them do just five. When you come back, they're going to have way better results than they would have had without it. As a matter of fact, it would have been so nerve-wracking for them, even with the PS5, which is written all the way out. They would have been so nerve-wracking. If they would have got the wrong answer, got tied up, or got a no or something, then they just shut down and stop. And then you don't hear from them for 2-3 days, and I'll call you back for a week. And hey, I've been trying to get back with you. Well, I've been busy. Now you've been running and hiding. You've been in the witness protection program. And that's again, it's not their fault. It's our fault because we put them in that position. We didn't protect them. Okay, so we have to protect people from themselves and walk them through that process, talk them through that process, explain them through that process, make sure they can understand. Because again, confused people do absolutely nothing, but a person who has an understanding of what they're doing has confidence, and confidence brings closure. Okay, so prepare your people. Confidence, remember, confidence brings closure. Okay, so good stuff, Angel. And Laura Johnson, and then we'll do let's see, we got Laura, and then we'll do Miss Marva, and then we'll do Dr. Arlene.
Well, great morning, Crash Campers. There's always a benefit to going first. A couple of benefits. You express your courage, but you also get to say what you want to say before everybody else has said it. So, but what I want to say is that the gratitude that I have for this platform and for the Beans for creating this platform. And I'm in a particularly vulnerable spot right now because for the last 3 months, as Mr. Bean had advised, I've been fasting and I've been involved in a 90-day mental clarity fast, which my coach and sponsor, Miss Shirley Xavier, does, and she's great at it. But what it does is it really brings out a lot of stuff that we might have had suppressed. And then in this last 21 days, we've been doing an abundance meditation challenge. And so it focuses us on the abundance that is in the world. And so listening here today, I just want to talk about the value of personal development, which is what GCU is. GCU is personal development. It really just develops us to think and behave differently in the world as we walk through it. And what you said earlier, Mr. Bean, about leadership is thankless, well, that really hit me hard because it is. It is. And, I have attempted to grow a team and to be able to be there for them. But at the same time, I'm developing and growing myself. And so to, be here in this platform, it fortifies me. It teaches me the things that I need to know so that I can be of service and be of help to the people that, I am attracting and that I am attempting to pour into. And, it's a day-to-day and moment-to-moment commitment because like for example I was called upon on Thursday to do a presentation with just a couple of hours of notice, and this has been a rough week. My grandkids are here and my daughter's here and I don't see them all the time, and I was tempted to say no. In fact, I did say no, but the no, I couldn't, it just didn't feel right. My conscience, my body, everything rejected me saying no. So within like 5 minutes, I said, no, yes, and I rose to the challenge. But as things happen, everything goes wrong. When you're attempting to do something, everything goes wrong and you want to just quit. You want to just say, throw up your hands and say, oh, I just give up. But then when you know that there are people out there that are looking at you and looking to you as an example of what you should do, you just can't give up. You just can't give up. It just makes you continue to move forward because you know that it's good. You know that it's great. And so one of the things that I try to like Angel said, I attempt to translate everything that I'm learning and try to deliver it to my team. So Kelvin said the other day, you overcome doubt with action. He said, overcome doubt with action. And he said, because you people, you're human, you're going to have emotions of fear, of doubt, of hesitation, but the way to take care of that is to act. So I always encourage myself and my team members to act, to do something so that it can have that powerful impact on you. And then he also said, why would someone do it? Why would someone do anything that you're asking them to do? Which is what Angel said. And so, he said, make a list. And I thought about that. I said, yeah, why would someone want to be with me in an investment? But it was not the investment that I'm really inviting people to. I'm inviting people to the Foresight family. That's what I'm inviting people to, because it's not the individual investments. That's just like the bait on the hook at the moment. But it's being in this environment of the Foresight family, being able to be under your tutelage and Mrs. Bean's tutelage, being immersed in positive people. This is what the real invitation is to. And so, that's what I really wanted to share, Mr. Bean. And I just thank you so much. And Gwen over there got me so emotionally shaken up, that it's hard to express myself. But I do, love this environment. I love you. I love you, Mrs. Bean. I love my team members who have chosen to, continue to walk the walk along with me. So I love each and every one of you as well. And I'll do whatever I can in 2022 to be a better leader.
Well, and you know what, Laura, one thing I can say, that we love you too, first of all, and I appreciate you for standing in the gap on Thursday night when Rashnique,
Thursday.
in the family, and so you stepped in and did the presentation and everything, and knocked it out. So appreciate you doing your thing and really serving, not just talking about it, but being about it. Next thing is this: when you look at your family, it's when you see, Gwen, have a moment. You had something to do with that, and so it's like it makes you. That's when you get that reward, of being an actual leader and knowing that you had an impact and seeing that happen. And so it's the same family. It's just closer to you. It's like you have lineages and families like, okay, it's more connected to you. You're more direct. You work hands-on with it. So everything is right there. It's real close. So that cry to you and that emotion to you is a whole lot different, and more personal to you than it is to anybody else. So I get it. Man, let's go back to the fear. When you said he overcome doubt with action. Well, first of all, anything negative, most things negative that you feel and that you experience has fear at the root. So let's just go. We'll just go with fear. Because everything else is attached to it and everything else stems from it. So when you look at, and when you said it, let me grab my journal. Let me grab one of my books of beans here. Let me hold on. I got something for you on this one right here, because it's as if you are scared to do something. This is what you want to write. This is what everybody want to write. If you're scared to do something, okay, do it 5 times. If you're scared to do something, do it 5 times. This is why you do it 5 times. You do it once to get over the fear of doing it. Okay? Because you're attacking it at that point in time, and fear hates action, hates it. You can't stand it. Fear is a bully, right? And so when you do it once, it's like punching a bully in the face, like you're standing up to it, okay? So you do it once to get over the fear of doing it. You do it twice to learn how to do it, okay? You do it the 3rd time to master the task that you're doing. Okay. You do it the 4th time to not just do it, but to kill the fear. So this is like if you have a garden and you got weeds, you pull the weed all the way out. And then if there's anything else you can do to keep coming back, that's what number 4 is. Basically, number 4, you do it again, that 4th time to just kill it and eliminate it. Okay. And the 5th time, you do it again in a training format. Basically, you're teaching somebody else. So by the time anything that you were scared of, when you take this process and you do these things, and you do it 5 times, you do a presentation 5 times, you do an invite 5 times, or you meet a stranger 5 times, you 3 feet rule somebody 5 times, you close somebody 5 times, whatever it is, do it 5 times, but be on purpose with those, and understanding what's happening. Because the more and more you do it, the less and less fearful of it you become. And then next thing you know, there's no fear at all. And now you become somebody's hero. This presenting, training, speaking, talking publicly, and that's literally something that everybody's scared of. And it's something that, again, you always have some sort of fear in doing it, especially when you're on stage. But it gets to a point to where when you're even on stage, once you understand that once you get started, you have to finish. You get to understand that you've done it so much to where you're prepared, so you don't have to have a fear of messing up. You've done it so much to where you're not worried about how people are looking at you, because now you know how to actually control what they see. Yeah, and so you know how to connect with your audience. You know how to be. So you do it so much till you master it, to where it's not a thing for you. It may be a thing for everybody else. And now people looking at you like, man, I wish I could be, Laura Johnson. I wish I could be, Dr. Arlene. I wish I could be Angel who trains or whatever. I wish I can take that step and elevate my life, and do the things that they're so courageously doing, when they don't understand that we were scared of the same exact things that they're still scared of. So like when Angel said, basically, she didn't think that she could be, or to have time that she thought that she couldn't be the leaders that we were. That's the wrong frame of thought, right? That's when you look at the mindset. I never thought that I could be the leader that my leader was. It's just the fact that I had to be. See, again, it's not about the how, it's about the why. I never thought about that I was that guy, that I can be on that level. It's the fact that I thought that I had to because of the alternative. So me focusing on the why puts me in a position that I never have to worry about the how. And so that's the stuff that we tell people all the time, focus on the why, not the how. Focus on the why, not the how. I didn't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? So it's not if I could, it's that I had to. We need to go into 2024 with I have to mentality. I need to, I must, I got to. Depending on what neighborhood you're from, I better. Right. Right. So, you got to put yourself in a position where when you talk to yourself, there's no options out. There's only one way. There's only one thing that you can do is it's to do it. Right. So, but also the 9-day mental fasts, like I've done mental fasts my whole entire career. And like you said, that's something that Shirley picked up and she's great at it. We talked about vision boards for years, talked about fasting for years. And I remember anytime I made my biggest strides, my largest strides in business and in life, it's basically after I fasted. So anytime I hit a rank in network marketing, big ranks, basically it was me fasting and clearing my mind out of all the distractions, all the regular music, all the partying, or all of the whatever it was. And now all I'm thinking about is how to win. Now all I'm thinking about is my process. All I'm thinking about, thank you. All I'm thinking about is the process, what I need from me, what the results are going to be, how to get better, how to evolve, whatever it is, and all the rest of the negative stuff is out of the way. And for me, part of that fasting, again, when you look at fasting, sometimes it's not about just thoughts and behaviors. It's all about associations as well. And when I fast from people. I tell people all the time, I'll call people and I'll call a person and say, hey man, look, for the next 90 days, you might not hear from me, but I'm going underground. I got a project that I'm working on, and I'm the project. I got a project that I'm working on, and it's going to require 100% of my attention. So if you don't hear from me, don't worry about it. Just call and let you know. I ain't acting funny. I love you, but you won't hear from me. If you do, it might be from a text message or something, but I just want to let you know because I care. And so I put people on notice. And so again, fasting is huge. I mean, anytime you're looking to make change in your life, you should fast. Anytime you're looking to shift gears, upgrade, you should fast. And again, anytime like for me right now, I have a moment that I've set aside, but it's like 2 hours a day of, just nothing but, listening fast. It's just all I'm doing is listening and stuff that I'm listening to 2 hours a day, 2 hours a day. I'm just listening. And this is the stuff that I'm listening to and stuff that I need, to take my life to the next level, take my skill set to the next level, take my systems to the next level. And so I can provide more value in 2024. So that's all I'm doing. I have 2 hours a day of fasting with listening. And so that's like meditating, like you said, meditation, again, abundance meditation. So that's how I meditate. I do things different. I get in a place where I can't hear anything except for, and my wife will tell you, she'll talk, have a whole conversation and realize I'm not listening at all because my earbuds are in and I'm sitting there. We just happen to be in the same room, and so I have to let her know, hey, I'm in my space. You need something? You good? All right, great. And put it back in and go back to listening, but you have to be on purpose with it. Okay, so, but that's good stuff. Let's see here, abundance meditations. Yeah. And by the way, anytime you get ready to do anything amazing, guys, you won't always be confronted with violent opposition. You're not supposed to get filthy, stinking, hog nasty rich easy without confrontation. Violent opposition is right there around the corner. This is waiting on you to make a decision so it can test you. Because you can't get that testimony without the test, right? Murphy's Law is your neighbor. Trying to tell you, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. And I'm just telling you, that's what separates, That's what separates everybody from everybody. You have people who are going through stuff right now, guys, that you have no idea because they don't look like that challenge. Trust me, for the past 3 years, I have not, and my wife has not looked like what we've been through. We don't behave like what we've been through. We don't look like what we've been through. I'm just telling you, we don't look like our losses, right? We don't look like our struggles. We don't look like our stresses, right? But it's not for us to tell you what we're going through, right? Again, at some point in time, it'll be in the movie. Or at some point in time, it'll be in the book. Or at some point in time, it'll be in a documentary. At some point in time, it'll be in a training. But you don't tell a person what you're going through when you're going through it just so you can have sympathy and empathy. You let a person know who, that they can continue to follow you based on the fact that you got them to their promised land without them even knowing what you were going through. So again, Murphy's Law is it's not if he shows up, it's when he shows up, and he'll only show up if you got something good going on in your life. If you made some good decisions, that's when he kicks in. That's when they go to testing you. All right. So good stuff, Laura. All right. Ms. Marvel. What you got for us this morning, Ms. Marvel? We can't hear you though. Your microphone is off.
Is that better?
Oh, that's this. We got you now.
Okay. All right. So great morning, everyone. I'm excited to be here. I just got off this morning, but I work nights, so sometimes you might not see me. But anyway, I'll be listening. So I am grateful for the opportunity to be a part of the Grant Cardone scholarship program. I do still need to go in and look at the modules. I'm not sure if we can access it after our 1 month is up. But it is helping me to shape what I need to look like when I present, as well as helping me figure out how to go back and do follow-ups. Because when I first introduced the El Green to some people, they were like, well, I didn't know enough about it. So I was excited to share the information, but I didn't know enough about it. So now I have to master the follow-up because I do know more about it, and I had practicing the script and getting more comfortable with it. So I'm excited about that and grateful for Carla knowing Miss Laura and know Miss Xavier to, help bring me into the fold here, because I don't know anything about investing. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to learn something to help me, excel in 2024. So I can grow this in my other business.
Well, the fact that you're here, we appreciate that fact, because again, you had some people who went to the club last night that didn't come and get up. They're like, man, I'm not getting up. You know what I'm saying? And so they didn't get up. And that's, again, life, again,
Life be life.
Yes, it's gonna reward you for the quality of your decisions. You know what I'm saying? And so again, knowing that you just got off and knowing that you're here, it just means that you showed up for yourself. And again, you should always give yourself a hand for that. Again, because that puts you in a different category. Because remember, 80% of success is just showing up. And so if some people just wake up, they would be successful. Wake up and just get on the call. They don't even have to be on Zoom. They can be right there on Facebook, like Big Mike, Sandra, Latoya, Candy, Evans, and all the people who are Odell, all the people who are on Facebook right now. Again, just waking up, being here, you don't know what you're going to hear. You don't know what nugget that you're going to get from who it's going to come from. But just being present for your rescue, that's most important. So again, congratulations on that. And continue to pray. Again, and also, all you do is get whoever gave you the scholarship, just get with them, and so they'll let you know what the access information is if you're in there. So they may have you in there for more than 30 days. They may have you for 60, they may have you for 90. But if you're on here, you should definitely have access to something. So again, just get with the person who got you in there. And that's one thing I want to go back to also, market share. You know, and I look at, Laura, and I look at, again, the promoting aspect of what she's doing. And again, the apple don't fall too far from the tree, right? So I was always a master promoter. And then Shirley, Xavier was always the master promoter right behind her. Next thing you know, Laura is the master promoter right behind her. And now when you look at who promotes what we have our hands on, like when you look at the people who are scholarship, people who do have those scholarships here, or those grants here, whatever you want to call them,
Mhm.
the majority of them are from Laura's team.
Mhm.
Not only is she paying for her own membership and being an angel investor, but she's making sure that she gets max value for her investment. She makes sure that she's got 5 people on these calls, 5 people on these calls from her team that can benefit from it. And so she's not coming alone. You know what I'm saying? And so people are getting that third party credibility that even if she knew the same thing that I knew, she wouldn't be able to teach them because, again, the prophet don't get respect in their own hometown. And so now you bring your people here, they show up, they get in here, get involved, and all of a sudden she's looking back, and saying, I'm glad that, you guys were able to come get this information because now I started seeing you recruit better, close better, whatever it is that you were doing that you need to do, you're doing it now. So guys, promoting, again, don't sleep on promoting. People who are making a lot of money and probably most money than most people without the skill set are the people who have the skill set of promoting, campaigning, okay, edifying value and people. So again, another example of why people win, and by Laura Johnson. So all right, guys. And so let's see here. Dr. Arlene, what you got?
Well, I'm going to shamelessly promote you and Mrs. Bean right now. Why? Because I went on a webinar with someone who was talking about how to be a 7-figure, 8-figure person and over the next year. And he gave this example of spec, and it was sustainability, that things have to be sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Proximity, because more is caught than taught. An environment for growth, meaning that even if you are a good seed planted in the wrong environment, you're not going to grow. And then community, having a community that creates consistency for you. And he was charging, I'm not going to mention the name, but he was charging, his lowest package was $500 a month. His highest package was $15,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at Sarah, you call her my little sister, and I said, sustainability.
Mm-hmm.
I said, with the beans, there is sustainability because every Monday we have Millionaire Mindset. Every Saturday we have Crash Camp. Every Tuesday and Thursday we have presentations. And if we don't have presentations, you will make sure that we're in an environment that we can daily have something to plug into, because in sustainability, it has to be something you can act on and that you can measure daily. And you all provide that for us day in and day out. Environment, right? Proximity. The closer we get to your heat, the better we get as people. Because the speed of the group is determined by the speed of the leader. And then environment, an environment of growth. That's what this is. That's why I come every Saturday, get my shot, and guess what? It sustains me because I can go out and maintain my energy. I can go out and be a better leader, a better mom, a better woman of God, a better businesswoman because of what the environment that you all have set for us, and in community, to have access to Angel, to Miss Laura, to everyone within the community that creates consistency, that makes me at least want to be a better person, want to be better at what I do. And you all don't charge us a dime for this. Not a penny. And I don't know if anyone else really sees that, but to be able to be in Crash Camp and to be able to in GCU, yeah, we pay for GCU, but not anything near what we would be paying if we weren't under your umbrella.
Mhm.
So, spec, we've got a lot here that other people are charging thousands for. And I am so excited because I'm sharing this not only with Sarah, not only with other people on my team. My son has some big things that he has coming up. I share this with him. I share money with him. I send crash camp and different things to him just so that he can be exposed to this environment. So I had to share that because
Yeah.
I just had to.
And at some point in time, that's what I tell you guys, like when when you hear me talk about earnings on automation, that is, again, it's going to be sold, again. And so for me, I'm in preparation, I'm in development, and I'm doing all my things. Everything that I'm doing right now is geared around having a sellable finished product, right? And so, um, but for y'all, like I said, people who are in my network, that's not something that, again, people, you have the millionaire mindset call, you have access to the information. And because I'm already based on leadership, in a earning, capacity. So there's no need for me to double dip, like you'd have other people do. But they have people out there selling leadership for $99 a week, like I said, $250 a month, $500 a month, $1,000 a month, and people paying it $15,000 a month, $50,000 a month. And people are paying it because people have access, to information that they would never have access to otherwise. And they deem that information valuable. If you're going to be in that space, you're going to have to learn how to do the thing. And so if you don't know how to do the thing, then you'll pay somebody for that information. Right. And so that's why I tell you all the time, don't just show up to train. That's why you have people who they show up and for me, if I'm at a training, I'm going to be present 100% of the time. And so when I say present, you will rarely ever see me on a training where, like I said, since Zoom is on, where my camera will be off, because it's a part of being present, but it's also a part of being accountable. Now, if I'm driving or something like that, or it's something where the only alternative I have is to not have my camera on based on my background or something like that, because it just has to be that way. That's because things happen. But for me, my camera's always going to be on because I'm always going to be present, always be accountable. I'm always going to be right there so you can see me paying attention. When you have your camera on, the lights are on you, even if you're not the speaker, people can see you. And so you're holding yourself, accountable, on that level. So you don't want people seeing you washing the dishes, cooking, playing with the dog, walking, whatever it is. You want to see people see you on purpose. How do you show up? Okay, and so, but that's it, man. It's spec. I like that. I like that sustainable proximity, environment, community. But that's the truth. Is just remember, it's just everything that you hear out there in that world. You're going to hear people repackage it, repurpose it, and then sell it. That's like when you look at books that people read. I give you the Bible, for instance, personal development. When you look at, Think and Grow Rich. Give an example. If people knew that Think and Grow Rich is built off the premise of the Bible, people who are not Christians or people who don't believe in the Bible wouldn't read it. So that's what Napoleon Hill basically did. He wrote the Bible, rewrote it in secular terms. And so if you think about everything that you have to do to be a great leader is everything it calls for in that specific book, in that specific religious book, to get through those gates. And so now you're just getting a person to be a great person in third person. You're getting a person to walk that path in third person, right? And just indirectly, without saying, hey, is a religion attached to it? It's just repurposed, it's repackaged, it's rebranded, right? Different author. Somebody just figured out how to monetize it. You look at Think and Grow Rich. You have zero idea how many books have been rewritten, repurposed, repackaged off of not the whole entire book, but just off of a chapter in Think and Grow Rich. You know how many small books, easy read books that you can get out of Think and Grow Rich just per chapter? Like you can go out there and can become a best-selling author and write 10, 15, 20 books based off of 10, 15 different chapters and make all of those chapters a specific book, easy read, 30-page, 50-page, 100-page book. And you can just rewrite everything Napoleon Hill wrote repackage it, put it in your words, put it in your new updated philosophies, and call it your book and sell it. Right. And so again, I just know that if I am in proximity, like she said, right, if I'm around the money, I'm around the people who have my answers and not my problems. I'm around the people who have the lifestyle that I want and not the one that I have. The people who, again, they think a whole lot different than me. They're thinking outthinks mine. You know, proximity, something has to fall on my plate that I can use, and I'll be around to get it. If I'm not in proximity, if I'm not in those spaces, I'm not at those events, I'm not on those calls, I'm not in those trainings, I'm not in proximity. Millionaire Mindset Call is proximity. You being here Saturday is in proximity, again, of the information within this community of beautiful people who are making contributions. But again, this is still a form of proximity, right? And again, when you have a community like this, and it's conducive to positivity and nurturing and people making contributions, you have sustainability. It all plays into, together, the environment, the culture, all of that. We have a culture of discipline. We have a culture of edification, right? That environment is just, who can you bring your mom, your sister, your daughter to our calls, our trainings, our events? Again, these are things that when you look at, that's that SPEC, his SPEC acronym, right? That really does, again, just it puts you in a position where everything he talks about, we are, minus the $500 to $15,000 price tag. All right. So, and we've been this for decades. So running. But also, again, this is, how I've been able to put myself in a position where I've taught it so much. Remember, when I go back to the fear, when you were talking about the fear a minute ago, and number 5 was so you can train it. So number 5 is not just so you can train it, but it's, again, the person who trains the most or learns the most, right? And so, but also when you actually train it over and over and over again, you're maintaining your dominance over that fear. You're reasserting your dominance over that fear, right? You got your foot on fear's neck of that thing. So when you come in here and you start training people, you start coming up with your modules, you coming up with your courses, you coming up with your master classes and stuff like that, you have a firm grip on everything you have because of, again, proximity of the information, getting it, applying it, and teaching it, and living it, and owning it. Next thing you know, you now can repackage it, repurpose it, and you can now sell it. But you can't do that, again, if you're not going through the process. You can't. So that's good stuff, Doc. I appreciate you and your shameless celebration of Mrs. Bean and myself. Thank you very much. We love you. Okay. All right. All right. And so Facebook, if y'all get some good stuff this morning, good morning, Earl. Good morning, Barbara. If y'all get some good stuff this morning, Dale, put some ones in the chat. Okay. Yeah. If y'all get some good stuff, put some ones in the chat for me. Type in me on Zoom, guys. If y'all get some good stuff so far, type in me. Being woke up and brought me another cup of coffee. She didn't know it was my second one, but I'll take it. I wasn't gonna tell her. All right. So this is what we're gonna do now. I want to let Angel do what she do best, and she didn't know she's gonna do that. But I'm not getting off this time. I'm just gonna sit back, relax, and listen because I want to make sure that you guys, when you're doing the hey, Attorney Sloan. Yeah, so when you guys are doing your role playing, I want to be here to witness it, watch it, and I want to continue to watch Angel and her mastery of teaching and working with you guys. So I ain't going anywhere. Angel, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bean. Wow, now we're getting into the work part, right? But it's been thank you so much for everyone for sharing for today. I mean, you've brought it into 2024. We're on fire already, right? So I'm super excited to start it off with our role playing, and I want to start it off with go ahead and get your PS5 out and let's go ahead and just read it, and do it. Let's everybody just do it for the first time. I mean, real quick. Everybody practice that, and then that way we can get it out and rolling. So let's start off 2024 with Mr. Bean's infamous PS5, right? That we actually get. That's part of the package that we get with being in this elite club, is that every single investment that comes, he's already nicely packaged us with these scripts so that it makes everything in our life easier if we allow it to us. We allow our minds to simplify things like it should be. So, all right, who wants to start? Ooh, we got Kendrick. Wow, he's the first. Oh, wow, you beat some major players there to be first, Kendrick.
Yeah, I go ahead and go first today. So
all right. So pick your prospect. Amazing group here.
I'll go with Miss Laura.
Miss Laura. All right. So let's go. So we're gonna do the script and go ahead. Is this somebody that you know or a person?
Yeah, it's somebody that I know. Maybe we could do somebody I haven't talked to in a while.
Okay.
Type of deal.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let me take a second just to breathe real quick. All right.
Take your time. Take your time.
All right. Ring ring. Okay, I'm ready. Y'all can hear me clearly?
We got you.
Okay, cool.
I think Miss Laura froze really quick.
Oh, did
There
I
she
freeze?
goes. She's back. Yeah, you froze for a little bit, but you're back.
Okay, I'm ready, Kendrick.
Okay, I'm ready.
Go ahead, ring.
Okay, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Miss Laura, this is Kendrick. Good morning.
Good morning, Kendrick. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Real quick, I need about 3 minutes. Is that okay with you?
Sure. What's up?
Okay, awesome. Awesome. I know it's been a while, Miss Laura, and we definitely need to catch up. But the reason for my call is, I'm a part of an investment group where we teach people how to multiply money through passive investments. And I'm about to send you something real quick. Zoop.
Oh, okay. What's this?
Okay, that, Miss Laura, the opportunity that I'm calling about, that's a screenshot of my daily returns. It pays 1% daily, on average about 26 days a week, a month. And your money currently positioned to earn you 1% at this time daily?
Well, no. Nobody's paying 1% daily. Are you sure this is real?
Yes, Ms. Laura. Actually, everybody says that. Great to hear you say that. Yes, those are my results, and those are the results I've been experiencing. But this is what I want to do, Ms. Laura, so you can get a bit better clarity. I like to get you on a Zoom call. It's about 10 minutes. I'll send you the link right over so that way you can get on the Zoom call, and that way you can get better clarity of the information that I'm talking about.
So why do we have to get on a Zoom? Are there going to be a whole bunch of people on there with me?
No. It's just an overview of the information, and it allows you to get better clarity. It'll help answer any questions that you may have, and just better explains the information for the opportunity for the 1% that I sent you the screenshot of.
Okay. So you want to do that now?
Yeah, if you have time now, I would love to do it now. That way I can be on the call with you and be able to go through it with you. Yeah, so if you have time, I would love to do it right now. Yes.
Okay, well, I guess how long is it gonna take to say?
It's just a 9-minute video.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay, awesome. So I sent you the link so we can get on the Zoom call. Okay, now I guess we'll move to the follow-up now. So ring.
Hi.
Hey, Miss Laura, what did you like best about what you saw on the Zoom call?
Well, what I liked was it seems to be real that I can make that 1%, but I'm not a gambler.
Okay, yes, Miss Laura, I do agree with you. It is real, and the 1% is being paid out daily. So, have you seen enough information to get you started now at this time?
Well, I don't want to. I like making money, of course, but I don't want to be gambling.
Okay, yeah, yes, Miss Laura, I do ensure that it's not gambling. So at this time, let's see, what is that? Is gambling the only objective that you're having at the moment?
Yeah. I mean, I have a couple of questions, just to get more clarity, but my big thing is the gambling. I don't want to be I don't gamble, so I don't want to start now.
Okay, yeah. Well, if the gambling is the only thing that you have to worry about, then yes, I do assure that it's not gambling. So yeah, if that's the only thing that you're worried about, then let's go ahead and get you started because it's not gambling. So yeah, are you sure that's the only thing the only objective that you have? Because if that's the only one, then
Well, yeah, that's the only objection that I have. But I do have a couple of more questions. They were talking about what Bitcoin or something like that. I don't know too much about that.
okay, yeah, Miss Laura, none of that's an issue. I've also worked with others who they're not familiar with that, but we're going through the process. I also have other investors, my senior investors, that I could also have to be able to connect you with, and they could be able to help you to reassure you with those issues also. But those questions that you have going through the sign up process, those are what we use. But I can get you on the three-way with one of my leaders, and that'll help you out. What do you have time now for a three-way? Because we can get an answer now.
Yeah. Since I have time right now.
Okay, awesome. Well, I'll go ahead and get them on the line. The person that I'm going to connect you with, she's been helping me throughout this process. Her name is Miss Leslie Johnson. She's always there when I need her. So I'll just get her on, and she's very knowledgeable about what we have to answer. She'll be able to answer any other questions. So I'll connect you with her. All right.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. Good.
I was typing so many notes. Forgot to unmute, but great job. I loved your energy, Kendrick. And so give him a round of applause. Being first, and this is what Mr. Bean said, right? When you're about to do something great, like being first for the first time, you get violent opposition, right? So technology and you couldn't hear, so you had to start over, right? And so you're probably like, yes, let's go. And then it's like, oh, right, she can't hear me and I have to start over now, right? So that is what Mr. Bean says. You're going to be tested, and technology loves to test us. I'm telling you now. So you got to get used to that. But I love that what you did was great. You came in and you told her that we're not going to have a chit chat session. I have a reason for my call. Perfect, right? Perfect intro coming in there. And then talking about, and then you walk through the mechanics, right? First, you do have the mechanics down. You know where you're going and you know what you're going to go to. Now, what you want to do now is lead a little bit more, right? And when I say lead a little bit more, meaning that instead of, like, for instance, when you were talking, when she asked you a question and you want to say, wait, let's hop on the Zoom so I can show you, right? So that's leading her, right? You want to lead her instead of telling her what we're going to do. Well, we can get on a Zoom and then I can show you. And that's, and it's because this is your first time, right? But as you grow the confidence level, as you keep on reading these scripts over, you're going to start leading. And leading means just letting her know, hey, if you want me to, if you have questions, we can hop on a Zoom, right? And that's going to answer your question. Whatever it doesn't answer your questions, then we can deal with it after the Zoom, right? And then she won't have more questions for you, right? You kind of stopped it there, and then you led her to hop on a Zoom, watch the overview first. And I really don't share that I'm going to share a video on the call, right? I just said, let me show you. She doesn't know how you're going to show her, right? So even if you push play, it's okay. She just thinks that you're going to hop on this call with her and show her something. It could be slides. It could be your back office. She doesn't know, but she won't get that information if she doesn't hop on the call, right? So the less you say, the better that, because right now what your prospect is like, well, I got to do this and I got to do that, right? So is this going to be important enough for me to hop on this call right now, right? They're dealing with that. So you want to not tell them what you're going to do, but really just have them hop on the call to find out. Right. And to be honest, I don't even send a video to people unless I've already, done the hop on a Zoom first. That's my first thing is hop on a Zoom. We're going to watch it now. And then my second would be, okay, if you don't have time, then I can send a video. But I don't send the video on the very first. Why? Because people are very busy. So you did perfect on that going into the Zoom, right? And I love how you were, explaining the next step. But that's what I had to do when I was agreeing. I like to explain everything that I'm going to do. And there's nothing wrong with explaining what you're going to do, but that also opens up objections when you start explaining. So you want to keep away and keep simple until they've seen the Zoom, right? Because that's your goal, right? Like, for instance, if you're dating someone, you're not going to tell them all the reasons why they should date you first, right? The objective is like, get that date. You can explain it there. Get her to that seat in the movie theater, at the restaurant, and then you can do whatever you need to do, right? So that's the same thing here. Get that Zoom. The objective is get that person on the Zoom, and then you can explain everything on that Zoom, right? Mm-hmm. So perfect. I love how you, towards the end there, you were doing great, right? And then she threw you a lot of objections. And of course, being new, objections are something that's going to be hard to, that's going to be something that you're going to work on for a while. So since you're going to be working on the objections until you master them, what you want to do is exactly what you did at the end, but do that at the beginning. So as soon as she sends you those objections, you're going to agree with her just like you did. And you said, I get it. Gambling, right? When she talked about gambling, you want to address any issues and objections. You can't just say it's not gambling, because you haven't addressed it. So she's still gonna think it's gambling, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to address it. I understand. I get it, right? I know how you feel. I thought it the same thing, right? I'm not a gambler. Or if you do gamble, like you said, most people say that, right? So when you say most people say that, then that's the reason why I wanted you to hop on. That's the reason why I'm going to go ahead and connect you to my senior investor. As a new person, that's what I would say. If you're not good at handling objections right now, get a senior business partner on the line ASAP. And don't answer any questions, because you can't take it back. If you say the wrong thing, you can't take it back. Right? So you want that senior investor to answer their questions. That's a great question, Ms. Laura. And that's the reason why I work with my senior business partners. She's absolutely wonderful. And then do the edification. Now, I don't know if I can get her right now, but let me try to reach out to see if she'll be able to hop on the call with us right now, because I definitely want to answer all your questions. Right? But, and that's what you should do right now. But I also want to tackle that. So I want to share with you what you can do when these objections happen. So in the first objection, when she said the gambling, you want to agree with her. Like, I get that. A lot of people say that they're not gamblers. Then you want to acknowledge that. And then you want to say why it's not gambling. We're actually not the people that gamble. It's all set up on an AI system. And that, right? That does it. So that we don't have to do it. And then you also want to ask if she has, and which you did, is what other objections that she had. But the reason why she didn't tell you the other objections is because you didn't finish answering that first objection, right? So she wasn't very comfortable with moving forward. And that's the part of listening to the other person, right? When they're not answering, or they're stuttering, or they're staying stagnant, you have to think now, like, what did I do, right? What happened so that I can move this person forward? Because if she's like staggering, you're like, oh, she's still caught up on the fact that the gambling, right? When she tells you another thing, so that's part of listening to, is listening to your person's actions, right? Being observant, not just listening with your ears, but listening to their actions as well, right? That's, and paying attention to your prospect. So great job though. I love that we started out with that, because that's going to happen in real life, right? And when you're not, when you don't have all the objections out, then the first thing to do is have that senior business partner on standby so that they can, Mr. Bean, I see that your mic is off, so I see that.
Yep. No, first and foremost, I want to say the thing that I recognized off the bat was your courage, enthusiasm, and exuberance. Again, that puts you in a position where you can actually learn, you can actually grow. Yeah, and so you start off there. And then when it comes to the confidence of information, basically, or the confidence in the actual script that comes with repetition, the more and more you do it, the faster you clean up those ums and ahs. Like I said, that's again, when you grow through it, the ums and ahs will go away. I promise you. Like I said, so that's just one of those things. It's just in the beginning, and you're finding your way, you're piecing it together, and you're using those little space words, the and ahs, and I used to do that with, you know what I'm saying? Understand what I'm saying? I hate even saying that because I don't want to ever fall back into those patterns. But we all have those isms, you know what I'm saying? So again, you hear what I said? You know what I'm saying? So again, that confidence and repetition, right? And so the more and more repetitions you have with the PS5, the less you'll use the ums and ahs. When you look at, let's see here. Oh, and this, guys, for real, reading it, it's okay. It's okay reading the process. It's okay reading the script. It's fine, because again, at some point in time, you won't have to. At some point in time, it'll be a part of your. Again, it's like, you thinking about it, then it goes from there to you actually, because you apply it so much to second nature, where you barely have to read it, and then you'll do it so much to where it becomes human nature, to where you won't even think about it. It just happens automatically. Like breathing. Like you don't think about breathing, it just happens, right? So you want to make sure that it's okay to read, even from introductions, presentations, scripts. It don't matter what it is. It's okay to read it. And when you do read it and people know you're reading it, again, just in certain situations, they appreciate it more. Because you can tell when you tell a person how new you are. And I'm just wanting to make sure that, Laura, I'm giving you this information so I don't misrepresent it. That's why I'm reading these bullet points. And so now you don't have to worry about the pressure that you're putting on yourself that comes from being embarrassed because you have to read it. If you set it up and frame it perfectly, you don't have to worry about it. But again, when you look at overview, I'm with Angel on that. There's a lot of things that I'm just gonna say, hey, look, real short. I don't use overview words like that. That's a trigger word. So jump on the Zoom. Let me show you something real quick. There's a couple things I'm gonna show you to validate that. All right. And it's not if you have time. Again, take control, impose your will. While I have you on the phone, I'm jump on the Zoom real quick. I just sent you a link. So, whoop, and then boom. And then that's when you play the video. It's 9 minutes. Okay. Or that's when you go into your back office, like Angel said. So it's not if you have time. You're already on there. They take advantage of the moment right there. And at least shoot your shot. And if they said, well, I really don't have time to jump on anything right now. Okay, perfect. That's when you go into your, okay, so let's go ahead and set it up for later on when you do have time. But right now, in that moment, act as if. Okay. Take the assumptive role. Act as if, okay, that person has time right now. But the reason why why you would struggle, even if everything that I just said was on point and on purpose, the reason you would struggle is because you don't know her why. If I ask you right now, what was her why? You couldn't tell me because you had a whole entire conversation without knowing why she would do any of that at all. Right. And so that's the most important thing. You didn't give her a reason, really the reason that you're going to give her to jump on the Zoom with you right now is the reason that she gave you that she would do it anyway. Like vacationing or more money or taking care of grandkids, whatever. You don't know any of that. So you got to figure that stuff out. If you know her, like you say, I know something about her, know that part. Okay. Because if I'm calling on purpose and I don't know that, I'm calling Laura, and the first thing I'm gonna ask her, hey Laura, real quick, we always talk about money and we talk about business, but for a business position or for just purposes of doing business, why would you do business? Why would you do something else? What's lacking right now, or what would you want to fulfill right now financially? What's important to you with your grandkid, whatever. Find out what it is. Because until you know what it is, everything is going to be a challenge for her. Keeping her attention, getting her permission. It's an uphill battle. Laura, did you ever find a way to retire earlier? Did you ever find a way to get more time with your grandkids? Did you ever find a way? Last time we talked, we was talking about having this vacation and taking a whole entire family to, to Europe or wherever. Did you ever find a way to pay for that? Or did you, whatever it is, bring it back up. And when she says no, so you know what? I think I may have found it for you. Or when she tell you what it is, and when you ask her, oh, I think I may have found it for you. That's why I'm calling. Okay? And so that's important. That why is important. You can't move her without her why. And then like Angie said, the gambling objection, yeah, again, she knocked that out, so I'm not going to handle that. But when you don't handle it, I can say this. When you don't handle it, you look like you're hiding it. Because remember, without an explanation, it's just your word. And without an explanation, it sounds like you're being slick, or it sounds like you're trying to sell her. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't like gambling. Feel, felt, found. I understand exactly how you feel. As a matter of fact, I almost missed this opportunity because I thought it was gambling at first, but I realized that what we do, has nothing to do with gambling. Everything we do is based on contracts and royalties. So what they do when it comes to gambling is their business. What we do on our side of the money is ours. So we have no dealings when it comes to gambling. It's all about us, again, securing contracts that give us a 1% per day return and royalty on our monies. And so, well, can you explain that for me? Sure. Jump on the Zoom real quick. I want to show you something. Because I'm too new to explain it to you and break it all the way down to you, Laura, but I want to show you something real quick, and I promise you, it'll knock that question out and any other question that you may have. So again, you give value, and then understand what it is. A feel, felt, found. Anytime somebody hears sports betting, that's the very first thing that I hear out of everybody's mouth. And guess what? It's the easiest thing, for us to, this easiest misconception for us to eliminate, because it's not gambling. And this is why it's not gambling, and you kind of give what you, like me, again, we don't touch gambling. We're all about contracts, right? And basically, it's for them, it's like crowdfunding. They give us a return and royalty in the form of royalties on our monies that we invest. But we don't do anything with gambling. If it was gambling, I wouldn't be doing it. And so that's to get comfortable with that. Everybody has to get comfortable with fighting that particular objection because it's your number one objection. Okay. Let's see here. Also with Laura, with Leslie, the edification, with Leslie has to be great. Again, it's you're too comfortable. Like it's when you're saying I can get her on the phone. If she's that important, you can just get her on the phone. That means there's no value there. Okay, this is what I can do for you. I can call my senior partner, right? Not my upline. I'm gonna call my senior partner and see if I can get her on the line for you. And if she can, I have zero. I have zero. What I'm looking for? Doubt that she can answer all your questions and get everything set. But she's so busy. I got to make sure that she's available and see if she'd be willing to do this for me as a favor to me. You have to give her way more value. So when she does come and have a conversation with Laura, Laura doesn't feel like she's talking to one of your peers, one of your friends, one of your family members, somebody who's on the same level as you. She has to believe, that she's talking to somebody of extreme value, somebody who is a difference maker, and somebody who, when you get her on the phone, that you're comfortable in her and confident in her abilities to address her issues. Okay. Let's see here. And yeah, and that's the thing about the closing this cycle. The last note begins is going back to whatever. If she opens up a cycle, you close it. So again, if she opens up something that she has a doubt about, remember, your job is to make sure you close that cycle. Make sure that she doesn't have any challenges with anything. All her questions are answered, and you understand everything that she's in full understanding, basically. All right. So great job. Turn it back over to you, Angel.
Thank you, Mr. Bean. Whew. Man, you're gonna be great with all that feedback. I just had half a page of notes on that feedback too. Thank you for role playing. We got a lot of nuggets there. So we got next up is Miss Marva. I see your hand raised. Up, can you unmute your mic? So for those while she's unmuting her mic, for those who are new, and we have a lot of family members that are new here on Facebook. So welcome to the Foresight fam. What we're doing now is role play. So this is where we get to, role play with partners in the Foresight fam before we go out and role play, with everyone in the real world and start, because this is where you can actually get, as you can see, the very first one, very valuable feedback. Now he has everything that's equipped before he actually goes out there and talks to people, right? Because a lot of times, like Mr. Bean always says, the be back bus doesn't come back. So if you do it and you fail, a lot of times it won't come back, right? So we want to make sure that you're well prepared for that very first person that even you want to go out to talk to. So this is the most important part of the GCU, is actually the role play, because that's where you're going to learn a lot. And if you throw yourself out in the uncomfortable world, which is, this is a safe space, right? So a lot of times your prospect won't tell you how you really did or how they really feel, right? But here we do, right? We let you know so that you don't go out there and make the same mistakes. So Miss Marva, I see you're online now. So who would you like to as your prospect?
Well, I was gonna do it with Miss Carla, but I could do it with someone else if she thinks she's too familiar with me. I don't want it to be easy. It has to be a challenge,
It has to
right?
be a challenge. All right. Who pick a person you don't know. Jacques? Miss
Okay, that'll work.
Mr. Jacques?
Mr. Jacques,
Yeah.
fabulous.
He's ready. All right, let's get you off of mute, Mr. Jacques, and let's get started.
Good morning, Mr. Jacques. Thank you.
Thank you. Looking forward.
I'm a rookie. Here we go. So the scenario is that I've talked to you before, and we were sitting around having a conversation about, you know what, man, if I could just get a little more money in my retirement fund, wouldn't it be great? So now I've discovered this, and I'm calling you with the opportunity. Okay, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Jacques, it's Marva. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Marva.
Great. So the reason for my call today is that I remembered you talking about wanting to get more money in your retirement account. And I have a solution I'd like to share with you.
I'm waiting.
Do you have about 3 minutes?
Absolutely.
Okay. Look, I just sent you a text, okay? Yeah, I just sent you a text. It's a picture. Take a look at that for me.
Okay, what do we got here?
It's the most fabulous thing I've ever seen. Okay? So what it is it's a contract royalties program, and I'm in an investment group, and we're getting 1% a day, 26 days a month on our investment, return on our investment. And I mean, that's better than the bank, right? So yeah, I mean, if you get started with it, you can probably get your, let's see, you'll get a quicker return on your money here than most things you'll put it into. Okay. So that's a screenshot of my returns. And, it just about doubles in 60 to 90 days.
Okay. Miss Marva, do you have the PS5 on
I do.
right now? Okay. So let's do this because, from the beginning, we want to just read the PS5 for right now. So that way you can get familiar with it. And it's okay. And starting out, like if you're on the rally calls, it would have flunked you in at the beginning already.
I know, because I said, how are you?
You
I
want to
remember
say,
that.
how are you?
No, you're not.
That is an error, right? An X, right? That is the worst word you can do at the beginning of a call, unless you're ready for an hour of the dog. I had to take the dog to the vet, right? So
well, that's why I had to cut him off.
Okay, so I wanted to start over at that point already anyway. So let's go ahead and start over. Great job, though. You're killing it with that energy. Now we got to get the energy and the right words together.
Okay.
To really get that call moving. So just read the script. That's what we're doing today. Stick to the script. And that repetition is going to really help you. I am a big fan of scripts, right? I mean, if you think about every single company has a script. If you start a company, even telemarketing, I did telemarketing when I was like in my high school, right? They give you a script. They're not letting a 16-year-old run crazy on the phone with people. They're going to give you a script, right? To make sure that you say the right words, no matter how old you are, no matter how young you're inexperienced, they're going to give you that script, right? And I'm going to tell you, based on those scripts, they keep on coming back to me and say, man, you're amazing. I'm like, yeah, because I'm reading the script, right? I'm not deviating from the script at all, right?
Okay.
So that's what you want to do. So let's just go head it with the script, and we'll go from there.
And real quick, Marvin, this is for everybody. Let me terrify you on purpose. Okay. Trust me, the fear of being inadequate or appearing inadequate and not looking like you know what you're talking about is everybody's fear. Okay. And so when you look at that script, and you elect not to use it, what happens is you will start to create rabbit holes to go down when you get nervous, get lost, and all of a sudden now you're way off course, and you're not doing anything that you're supposed to, and nothing is happening, and now you're in your head saying, I need to find a way to get back. I need to find a way to get back, but you're still talking down that rabbit trail. And so you saw a little bit of that while just in that short segment before Angel stopped you. And so I'm glad she stopped you, because I'm like, boy, this is gonna be, we're gonna be to 12 o'clock. We're gonna but like, and so this will protect you from rabbit trails. That script will keep you in a protected status, and it'll put you in a position where you don't have to worry about looking inadequate. And again, worst case scenario, you're so new that you're reading it because you don't want to give that person misinformation or bad information. I'm only reading it because of you. All right. And so that's kind of how you want to put a person in that position. So I'll leave you to your PS5, man.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey there, Jacques. This is Marva. Good morning.
Good morning, Marva. Good to hear from you.
Yes. Hey, I need about 3 minutes. Are you good with that?
Absolutely.
Awesome. I'm about to send you something. Zoop. So take a look at your phone. Did you get it?
I got it. What's this?
This is a screenshot of my daily return from my most recent investment account. They're paying 1% daily, 26 days a month for every month. If you take a look, you can see my total investment, and beneath it is the 1% return I've been receiving.
Impressive.
Look at my daily earnings. Did you see it?
I do.
What do you think of that?
Well, I think it looks pretty good. How do you go about that?
Okay. Well, looks too good to be true. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. But as you can see, it's not only is it true, but I've made withdrawals every day. I withdraw to stake and help others fund their accounts as well. Now, do you see why I was so excited?
I do. How do you fund your account?
You fund your account with the 1% that you're going to get 26 times a month on you get a 26 days a month, you'll get a 1% return on your initial investment. And you're going to withdraw that money and reinvest it.
Sounds great.
So I'm about to send you something else. Zoop.
Okay, what have I got here?
Okay, so it's a conversation detailing the entire investment. It's highly credentialed, endorsed, and validated by several entities. Watch this. Wait a minute. So I'm stuck here because it says share the presentation.
Yes. So
and it doesn't
that's
say
what,
the 9 minutes or whatever.
Sure. Perfect.
But we want to get him to do it now.
Yes. So what the next step would be to get him hop on a Zoom.
Okay. So Jacques, do you have I'd like to send you a Zoom real quick, and it'll map out everything for you if you just give me a couple minutes to do that. Do you have time today?
Right now.
Okay. Zoop. Did you get it?
I got it.
Okay, get on the link, and it's going to be a conversation. We're just going to listen to it together. It's going to detail the entire investment process, how it's credentialed, so highly endorsed and validated by several different entities. Watch this, and then we'll talk about it afterwards.
All right,
Okay.
give her a round of applause, everyone, because that second time is hands down. I was like, yes, yes, yes. You hit all the see how I couldn't tell she was reading it. Can anybody tell she was reading it? I couldn't tell. That energy that you had, there was no going around. Now, after the script, you see what happened after the script, right? Scripts are meant to make you look validated. See how smooth it was? And then when the script was gone, that's what Mr. Bean was talking about, rabbit holes, right? Because when we don't have the script, now we tend to over talk and over explain and overdo a lot of things, right? When we don't keep it simple with the script. So perfect intro. And it's just a matter, this is your first time, you know, new, and it's just a matter of the next step, which was to hop on the Zoom, right? So when you ask the 3 minutes, do you have 3 minutes? You're leading to that Zoom. So if you're leading to a video, then you can say, hey, I'll send you a video, right? Okay, great. When he said, well, how do I fund my account? Great. Let me go ahead and send you the video. If you're sending the video, like you wanted to send the video. Now the option is to hop on a Zoom. Why do we want to hop on a Zoom? Because we have our prospect right then and there watching the video. What you probably will find out, and what I found out with all the people that I talked to, that I will call them back and they will not have watched the Zoom. I mean, they have not watched the video. Unless you have a lot of influence, right? Like Mr. and Mrs. Bean calling me, watch this video. I'll be like, all right now, right? But most people will start, and then the kids like, Mom, I'm hungry. Oh, okay. You know? And most of the time they don't finish the video. So I always want to hop on a Zoom because number one, I have their undivided attention. They're watching the Zoom with me. So I know they finished it. And I am taking notes on what they like and what they don't like from watching their, you know, expressions while they're watching the Zoom, like, oh, yeah. You know, like some people like, oh, they nod, they shake. And so you kind of know by watching their expressions on how they actually like the information they're hearing, right? It's and you knock it out. I don't have to call them back a couple of days later because I'm gonna knock out everything all the way to the close in that instant, right? Because people are not going to close on the same day. It's going to be a process. So how much longer do you want to drag out the process, right? So I like to get all the information out. That way now they can have that time to think, right? And have that time to take advantage of it. So perfect there. Nothing except for getting, practice getting them either on the Zoom or sending that video. But great job.
Thank you.
Mr. Bean?
Thanks, Jock, for helping me through this.
Right. And so when you look at the thing that I recognize, the reason why y'all like, well, I can't tell she's reading this because she's read it before. It wasn't her first time. So like I said, she just went to read it again. And so she's been through it. And so when you go through it, and so, because remember, remember all of our PS5s were very similar, right? Remember, so you only change it up to match the company, and you don't, but the foundation and the base stays the same, right?
But that wasn't my first time.
So you never did a PS5 at all on any?
No, I just had to go look it up. It's on a computer screen behind my phone.
You did good. You did good.
Yeah, well, I was.
It looked like you actually, because most of them tell you normally when that happens, it's because somebody's read it before or they've seen it before. It's not that they're not a stranger to it. So kudos to you.
But sales is my passion.
Mm-hmm.
Sales is my passion. Customer service is a passion for me. So once I get the script and the details, the benefits of the product, and how I have something to offer a solution, then I can meet the need. And so once I learn my product, I'm going to be good.
There you go.
I'm comfortable talking to people. That's not a problem.
That's good. That's good. Well, you made it look good. So, and that's the thing, that part right there, again, you made it look good. So kudos to you on that. And so when you look at, once you get familiar with it, like you said, once you get the foundation down, the human element will kick in, the natural flow of conversation will kick in, and you'll be able to know, what to put in different places. Now, the one thing I did admire was your courage to continue to read when Jacques basically said, okay, and Jacques was just giving you some dry one line, which is very, very hard and that's the best training, because he's not giving you a whole lot to work with. He's just agreeing with you and allowing you to do your thing. And so now you really have to dig deep and say, okay, let me go ahead and now let me just go ahead and pick this up and now let me go ahead and ad lib a little bit. Let me go ahead and basically wrap this thing up. And so, but I love that. But like when you look at the PS5, you realize that it's when at that first moment, if you'd have read it all the way through, then at that point in time, it would have gave you exactly what you need to make him actually give you more. And so it was just fragmented because you was reading it, as you went along. But the fact that you continue to read, again, it shows courage and commitment. So again, which is very, very important. And that part I appreciate, that. And so I'll leave it back to Angel. But those are kind of some things I just wanted to, because Angel really knocked out everything else. And I don't want to be redundant on all the great things that she shared with you guys.
Wow, boy, does time fly fast with the Foresight fans. So I did not realize that it's way past our time. That's how it.
Matter of fact, Angel, why don't we do this before we leave? Because again, you got an audience, you got a captive audience, and so why don't you do one with Dr. Arlene, or you can do one with me. It don't matter. But I definitely want these guys to see something and hear something and feel something from one of their area experts. Or if not two of y'all or us, it don't matter. If you and Doc want to do it, that's fine. You want to do it with me, that's fine. But I want to make sure that, again, we end it with a really nice, pristine PS5 situation.
Absolutely. Are you ready, Doc?
All right. Am I calling you? You calling me? Which one are we doing?
It's up to you. What would you like to?
I'm gonna call you so you can be hard on me.
All right. Okay. So we know each other?
We know each other.
Okay.
Yeah, we know each other. So let's go. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi, Angel. It's Arlene. Good morning.
Hey, Arlene.
Do you have a couple minutes for me?
Yeah. What's up?
All right, I'm about to send you something. Did you receive it?
Yeah, what is that?
That is a screenshot of my daily return for my most recent royalty account. And I'm reading right off my script, guys. They're paying 1% 6 days a week, up to 200% from your initial package purchase.
Get out of here. Are you sure? I've never heard of that.
I know, that's what a lot of people say, that they've never heard of that. I felt the exact same way when I was introduced to this opportunity. But guess what? As you can see, it is paying that 1% daily. If you look at my total purchase that I sent you, that's how much I invested. And if you look below that, you'll see my 1% back in day in and day out. As a matter of fact, I just took some out. Let's jump on a Zoom.
I don't know. I really have to be running. You kind of caught me at a bad time though. What is it though?
Well, if you're busy, I understand that. However, you said, what is it though? In order to do that, let's jump on that Zoom really quick, Angel, and it'll answer your questions for you.
How long is it gonna take?
How long is 1% worth?
You're right about that. Let me see. All right. Okay. What's the Zoom link?
You've gotten the Zoom?
Yeah.
All right, we've now watched it. And now, Angel, so tell me, what did you like best about what you saw?
Well, of course, the 1%, 1% a day. I mean, I don't have anything in my portfolio that's paying that right now. But I mean, there's a lot of things that, work out and don't work out. So I'm not sure like how long is this gonna last?
Well, Angel, you know what? Like you said, that 1% is great every single day. And I agree with you. And I had that same exact question about how long is this gonna last? And I had a couple of other questions as well. But what I'd like to do is if I can get my senior partner on, he can answer your questions. He can answer all those questions for you. He leads our investment group. He has helped multiple individuals across our platform to earn a lot of income. And I think if I can get him on there with you, you can ask him those questions and he's going to be the best person to answer that for you. So let me work on getting him on the line, okay? Hold real quick for me.
Okay.
All right. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hi, Mr. Bean. I have Angel on the other line. We're on Zoom right now, and her question is, how long is this gonna last? And I wanted to get you on the line with her so that you can.
Okay.
Or you.
Hey, Angel, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, well, I see you've been looking at the El Green project with Dr. Arlene, and she told me you had a question. But before I answer that question, let me ask you a question. When it comes to investments, what's important to you?
Well, a lot. That's retirement plan for not just for me, but my children as well. So,
Okay. When you say retirement plan, how much is it going to cost for you to retire?
uh, for me to retire, I mean, I'm a busybody worker all my life. So for me to retire, I would say at least $1 million a year for me to stop doing everything and enjoy life.
Okay. So let me ask you a question, Angel. You said $1 million a year. Do you make $1 million a year right now?
No,
Okay.
that's why I'm not retired.
Okay. So right
Work
now,
in progress.
now let's start with where you're at.
Absolutely.
Let's just say and I asked you a question. You said I asked you how much you make right now. You just said tell me. So how much you make right now, Angel? $100,000.
About 100,000 a year
Okay.
with
So
all my
right,
investments. Yes.
that's great. So that pays the bills. $100,000 keeps the lights on and keeps your family happy. Okay. So why don't we do this? And when it comes to what we have our hands on, we like to show people how to blueprint income. And we don't make any guarantees on income and longevity of projects because that's not what we do. But what we do is we work with what we have our hands on. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a plan, to get you to $10,000 a month. That'll put you at 120 a year, which is a little bit more than what you make. And then, once we get there, okay, if you feel like you need more to retire, then we'll reassess your plan. But it just makes more sense to game plan $100,000 over $1 million at this moment when you don't make $1 million. Is that all right with you?
Absolutely. I
That's a
love that.
good deal. Now let's get to the question that you had for Dr. Arlene. What was that question?
My question is, like in the investment, there's so many different things that happen and we don't know, the longevity of a project. So, how do we know how long this will last?
Well, that's the thing, Angel. That most people don't know how long their job's gonna last. Companies go out of business all day, every day. Okay, and so investments are the same thing. You don't have control over it, and even if you do have ownership of the company, you don't have ownership of the guidelines and things that happen around the world when it comes to governing investments. Only thing that I can speak on is the life of the contract, and I know the contracts can renew from anywhere from as little as 30 days if you're active to 4 months if it goes straight through the contract and it doubles your money. And that's what I can speak on with integrity. So as far as the companies and stuff like that, I do know that my senior partner, Mrs. Bean, she's been in communication with the owners. She's been to Brazil, she's been to Panama with them, looking at the project, and they're all supposed to be going to Dubai in June as well for training and celebration and stuff like that. So, but as far as longevity of the process, again, nobody really, in all honesty, Angel, can tell you how long a process can last. And if somebody tells you, Angel, in any investment, that a project is going to be here forever, you should run. Okay. I just want to be upfront and honest with you, and I'm quite sure Dr. Arlene does as well. We operate out of integrity, and we're not going to mismanage your expectations of what we have our hands on. So, but does that answer your question?
Yes, I love that. Thank you for your transparency. And you said 30 days to get my money?
Yeah, like I said, it depends on your participation. So for me, I've been able to recoup my investments in 30 days because I actually refer people to the actual program. But that's something that we don't talk about out the gate because most people don't like recruiting. Okay. But again, for me, I was able to get my money back in 30 days and all my contracts renewed within 30 to 60 days because I'm really active in recruiting. But I have a ton of people, maybe 80% of my people who are just investors who are just here to get the royalties. They basically they'll go out the whole entire life of the contract, basically 1% a day, 26 days a month until it actually doubles. And that's normally around about 3.5, 4 months.
Well, I like to double my money fast, so I love to sit down with you and get started and have that game plan of doubling my money in 30 days.
That's all right. This is what I'm gonna do. Because Dr. Arlene is very, very capable of taking you through a whole entire process. She is an amazing individual. She's one of our top presenters as well. And she's very active in the community. And so I'm going to turn you back over to her, turn you back over to your day. And I do want to say this. I look forward to working with you and helping you get to your goals or whatever. So I'll be in touch with Dr. Arlene. And if you need anything, she'll let me know, okay?
Thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
No problem. Thank you. Have a great day and welcome to the family.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Arlene, I'm turning it back over to you. You have a good one as well.
Thank you. My dog's barking in the background here.
He was celebrating me and not me way.
I love that. Thank you, Dr. Arlene, for walking us through that whole process, because I know she can handle some of the objections and stuff, but I know that she did that on purpose, right? So everyone can see how a real three-way can happen and will happen, right? On how you introduce that into play. So, Mr. Bean, since I was part of the, we would like to get your feedback.
Yeah, no, like I said, everything y'all did was great. Again, just just the crispness of it. You can see that there's a lot of repetition in your conversations. There's a lot of work that you guys have put in. There's a lot of training that you guys have put in for other people. And you can just see the redundancy of the work. And so that's what the evidence of it all. Again, with no arms, no hiccups, no isms. It's just y'all are just in there doing it, and the way she's read it, the way she was reading it. She wasn't reading it because she had to, because she was reading it because it's the smartest thing to do. Even when you have it in your spirit, it's okay to use it as checkpoints and markers. You know what I'm saying? So this is where I'm supposed to be at this point. This is where I'm supposed to be sitting at this point. And then when you're looking at it and you're reading it, you're not really reading it. You're just basically going back there to make sure that you're centered and that you're focused on exactly where you're supposed to be. So again, reading is fundamental. Again, always stay in the basics. You know what I'm saying? Always stay. If you master the basics, you'll master the money. Okay. And so I'm not embarrassed about reading. I'll literally have stuff when I do the Millionaire Mindset call, things I've trained on forever. And I'll have moments where I can only read over that nugget and that bullet point, then I can expound on it. Okay. But I'm always going to find my place, because it's not important that I look cool to y'all. It's cool that y'all are important to me enough that I actually read in front of you. I don't care anything about how I look. I care about the impact that you have in your life. So that's important. But you guys literally, that was great. You guys went through that thing, and then I'm glad you introduced the three-way, because again, people do need to understand, how a three-way looks, how it feels, and how powerful it is, because now Dr. Arlene took herself out of a situation. And she could have answered the question, but she took herself out of the situation and said, you know what, I'm not going to be the expert in this matter because I know Angel. Angel's a friend. We have a different type of relationship. So let me put her on the phone with somebody that I can create value for, that she can respect their words, that when they speak, she'll honor it. And when they speak, they'll give her concise information, a good direction, answer a question with no problems. And then when I get back on the phone, because he said he's going to edify me again, she'll listen to me on a whole entirely different level, now because of, my, association, right, with the expert, with the senior partner, with the senior investor, with whatever you want to title that person as. But now it's two of us that she can rely on us and rely on instead of one. When you don't do three ways and lifelines, guys, what you're doing is you're cutting off your money source. You're killing your own clothes. Your ego, remember, ego edging goals out, right? If you have a big ego, you won't have a big return. You won't have a big bank account. You won't have the illustrious life that you want. People with huge egos, they burn out fast. Even if they make a ton of money, they'll lose it just as fast because, again, that person is relying on their own thought process. They're relying on themselves, and it's not duplicatable. Okay. So three-ways and lifelines are three-ways and lifelines. The people who in my life, in 20 years of being in business, well, we had to do three-ways and lifelines. The people who made the most money and the people who had the most stable, secure, and sustainable, groups and organizations and growth, they all did three-ways 100% of the time. Because of those reasons I announced. When people know that you're not the only person that they're doing business with, and they know that you're not the only person that they're relying on, and you have access to people who have more knowledge or more experience or whatever it is, they're going to attach themselves to that person through you, but they can't get to that person without you. Okay. And so that's why I said, Angel, if you need anything, let Dr. Arlene know, and she can get us back on the phone if need be, but she's more than capable of answering your questions and addressing anything that you have as far as concerns are concerned. And I look forward to working with you in the future. So that's what I want you guys, that's how you end the call. That's how you go into 2024 on fire, and I'm glad that you guys were available to do it. And I would suggest this, Angel, anytime I'm not on, do that same thing. Get back on there with one of your everydays, one of your Dr. Arlene, Laura, Carla, or people who you know for a fact are proficient in it, and do the best one. And you say that best one for last. Again, you're teaching, coaching, and you're leading people all the way through the process, and letting them read, letting them make their mistakes. This is the best place to make mistakes in. And when I say Marvin messed it up beautifully, again, that's what is supposed to happen. You give people, and I say you messed it up beautifully because you messed it up in front of people in a safe environment, but you also had the courage enough to mess it up and not think about how you look messing it up. People out there are scared to talk because they think they're going to be judged. When you're in an environment where there's a non-judgmental environment and people are here to help, most people don't get help. Most people are laughed at when they mess up in society, at work, and then people use it against you, to take your positions. Okay, but here, the more you mess it up, remember, you're gonna have to be bad before you're good. You have to be good before you're great, but be okay with messing it up, in front of in a safe place where people can actually, help you, make those corrections and adjustments. Okay, so, y'all know what it is. Next week, same time, same line, more people. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Angel, for doing your thing as always. And again, it's not the quantity of people that you have in these environments. It's the quality of the people that you have in these environments. And I can just tell you, I love being in this environment with each and every last one of you guys, because you guys are what makes the group great. Without you, the group is not great. You guys are really what gives the group hope. So going into 2024, make sure you are, not just here to take away from the platform, but make sure that you develop yourself in a position where in January, February, March, April, we're calling on you to be the expert. Okay. So love you guys. And as we always say, we don't know what we did to deserve you guys, but we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that we get you guys to your goals and to your dreams, and make sure that you don't have to struggle to get there. So take care, guys. Talk to you guys later.
Thank you, Mr. Bean. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year for real. Bye, guys.
Happy New Year.